Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm doing a video on Weiss ratings again. So for you guys that have been following the channel for a while, you'll probably notice that I do this periodically. I'm a member of all of the Weiss rating services, and there's a lot of them. So periodically I'll just pick one, start looking into it, see what it's all about, and see if it's something that might be useful for me, and then figure I might as well do a video so that you guys can see and be like, hey, maybe that'll be a good service for me. A lot of these services are not advertised, and you have to call them or go to their website to see. So if I'm talking about anything on here, it's unlikely I'll have links half the time for these things. Most of the time it's just a case of call the company to see if they are still offering these things, or if you can join, how much they cost and things. So today I'm going to do Marijuana Millionaire. So if you guys remember, a few years ago, marijuana companies used to be like, well, they still are, like this newsletter, saying, but they used to be extremely hot. Like as soon as it was talking about legalization, immediately, like everybody was like looking at these penny stocks or these marijuana companies, and like really, going at it hard and using it as this, kind of like the tech boom, back in the day with tech stocks like Google and Amazon and all this, and so. It is an intriguing opportunity, right? Because it does seem to be that the legalization bandwagon is just continuing to roll forward, and even threaten some of the big pharmaceutical companies, the massive $1 trillion plus industry in the US. So it is pretty interesting, because getting in on something like that with experts that know what they're doing at an early stage can lead to massive gains. So this isn't really a trading service so much as an investing service. And so I looked up who this guy is. So the guy that runs it is called Sean Broderick, and I looked him up right here, so have a quick look at him. So he's known as the Indiana Jones of natural resources. He's been doing it for 30 years, terabytes of data, traveled tens of thousands of miles. Okay, you probably need the marijuana to help with that. They're set to deliver potentially transformative results to investors with boots on the ground, blah, 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 mines. He's best known for that. Yeah, so he runs these 5 different Weiss publications: Wealth Wave, Wealth Megatrend, Supercycle Investor, Resource Trader, and Marijuana Millionaire. So it's not immediately clear from this that he's an expert in marijuana companies. He has this book which seems a little bit kind of like a prepping type of thing. So it's called The Ultimate Suburban Survivalist Guide, the smartest money moves to prepare for any crisis. There's like a Swiss Army knife on the front. So it could be interesting if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, and it's on Amazon. I can leave a link in the description to go and check this out as well. And so Marijuana Millionaire, so it's a pretty simple service. It's like a lot of these ones from Weiss Ratings that I've been reviewing. Basically, you get research and alerts sent to you via email. It's usually under the research tab on the left here. And you can see every week you're getting either an alert or an update, for particular stocks to do with cannabis. And so you can kind of see. And what I've been doing with these is I usually go back in time a little bit so that I'm not giving away like really super up-to-date information, and then walk you guys through so that, like, what you can expect from one of the updates. So just looking through here, you can see some of the topics. The green light is coming. So this looks like an update. So let's look at an update, and then let's look at an alert and see what you get. So here's a typical update again. With Weiss Ratings, I really like these because they let you listen to the article instead of reading it, which might not be the easiest given that there's figures involved, but sometimes it's useful if you're busy. So you can see he's starting with an update on the market stabilizing, short-term bottom. Once it does, reward cannabis stocks have mostly held their ground recently, so I'm optimistic. So these are things that are useful for just to kind of have in your stable of tools and resources and information. And if you're getting this fed to you daily, you're like, okay, I understand that and that. And, the more information sometimes on this, the better. So here's some of the stocks that they're holding and looking at. It's a good sign seeing their holdings. Cannabis real estate finance is booming. So stuff like this that you really start to get like insight into, and that's what makes these services so valuable. So you start to say cannabis real estate financing is booming. Cannabis companies have raised less money this year in equity financing, but cannabis real estate finance is hotter than ever. American lenders and leaseback providers servicing cannabis businesses have raised $517 million to date. So it's stuff like this. You may not invest in this, but you might be like, hey, maybe I want to get into this. Maybe I want to start a business in cannabis real estate financing. So I think there's a lot of value to be had from these types of services, like this Marijuana Millionaires, that might change your life in ways that are more than just getting alerts or, prohibition hasn't stopped cannabis research. So you get a lot of information. State roundups, so you get kept up to date on all the different laws, and it's kind of hard to keep up with a lot of this stuff. To have something spoon-fed to you like this is pretty valuable in my opinion. Let's have a look. Long-term growth, so you can kind of see they're talking about a lot of their portfolio stuff and things here. Let's look at an alert just to see what you get. So again, I want to go back a little bit because I don't want to give away stuff that's too up to date. Add a Munchies maker and sell an underperformer. Let's see. So it's already shown a nice double-digit gain. I pick up for today. Same time we need to exit a position. Sell all your shares. So these tend to be OTC stuff as well. Like a lot of these cannabis things are pretty crummy stuff. So let's see. Just looking down. Okay, so we kind of got a chart here, the daily chart for CAG or Conagra Brands. So that's on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's see. So yeah, so you're talking about looking at some decent stuff as well. It's fairly well established. Yeah, so that's kind of what to expect from the alerts. Lots of really good information. Often this political stuff, it's hard to see and stuff, so keeping up with it can be pretty useful with a service like this. So if we go back up to the top, what else do you get? Well, you get a position tracker, you get statements, which is very unusual. So they actually issue broker statements every month because they're really taking these trades in these. Position trackers, I want to quickly go down here so you don't see the open stuff. I wanted to show you some of the short-term rotation portfolio, the closed trades. So you can see the sort of time frame on the short-term rotation marijuana trades are, let's see, so like a month. So here's one that was opened 6/17, so June, and then closed in early July. So these are fairly rapid swing trades that turn around pretty quickly. You can see some of the gains being kind of red recently, but as we start to scroll through, still red a little bit. You start to see a lot more green coming in. So there's no running total here, which is typical of a lot of these things, but you can start to see things going really green the further back we go. So let's see, really green, 100%. 137%. So you can start to see that there's a lot of mixed bags here. You can start to see overall, though, there's more green than there is red. But it's very difficult to sort of really appreciate, like, is this profitable overall? So it's difficult to know. So those are the short term. Here are the long term ones. So you can see they're held. These things are closed as well. So they've been held for like a year. Some of these. Again, we can scroll through some of them, just looking at the percentages, looking at the prices that you're paying, and what the tickers are. Let's just go to like here. These are all pretty red. Yeah, very red. A lot of green here though, 100%, 170%. So it'd be really nice if they totaled this up and showed you, okay, here's the total for, particular portfolios or whatever. Anyway, if I jump on to the next thing here, which is the special reports. They do offer a couple of special reports with the sign up. The frequently asked questions are often really useful with the Weiss services. So we can have a quick look through those, see if there's any questions that you might have about the service here. For the record, I'm not going to be investing in any of these. I'm not really into marijuana stuff, but some people are, so that's kind of why I'm reviewing it. So you get stuff weekly, we already know that. I missed a trade opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Will I be able to take these picks? So, US broker stuff, if a question. Yeah, so not really much here to talk about. So really, that's about it. I mean, it's run by this guy, Sean Broderick. Hadn't really heard much about him. The portfolios look interesting. I honestly think it's more, for me, would be like a diligence service, like really understanding and keeping an eye on this area of investing, like, and how the laws are progressing and what other like spin-off investment opportunities might be possible. So I'm going to use this information, but I'm not going to use it to take their alerts, if that makes sense. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing more reviews and things, come and check out my Facebook group. This is it right here. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's where I post a lot of the other reviews and things that I'm doing, and we can kind of keep up to date with some of the stuff that I'm doing, other than reviewing stuff on YouTube. It's always good to get people from YouTube back into like a Facebook group where we can interact a bit more and have more of a community feel to it. Sometimes YouTube's just kind of weird, me just talking about stuff. So, alright guys, thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.